Hey everyone, it's Sarah from Nova Scotia. I'm doing another big painting. I'm really excited for this one because of the colors. So I'll show you my canvas. There is 3 panels here, 15 by 30, and they're clamped together. I did another video where I showed how I clamp these together and set this up. If you want to see that, I'll put it in the description, the link there. So I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of flip cups. I have a plan to have high contrast colors around the outside and the center and less contrast in between them, just to kind of give it some more depth and more like a wave effect. I'm hoping, we'll see. So I'll show you my colors. All right, so I actually arranged these from light to dark, and how I did that, I just take a picture and go into my photo editor and turn it into grayscale, and you can easily see what's dark and what's light, and it kind of helps to plan it out if you want to have darker areas, lighter areas, or to have it even and not have like a big dark section on the right side and white in the left. Or anyway, it makes it a lot easier. So we got titanium white. Most of these are from Mont Marte. I think that's how you say it. I will link that as well. There's a couple other ones, but I will link all this. Sorry, not link it. Actually, I'll put it in the description. Titanium white, gold. This is an aqua green. I think this is violet. This I mixed myself. I think you call this coral. Turquoise, copper, silver, which I added a speck of blue. It's a lot nicer that way. It's a bright blue, magenta, purple, or violet it would be. And I had a little extra metallic purple and blue and red, and I just mixed them in there, and it looks so nice. I gotta show you this. I'm really excited about that. And this deep blue here and black. So I will say right quickly that I mixed my paints about 1-to-1 with Elmer's glue to paint, and then I added a little bit of liquitex pour medium. That just helps it dry better and less risk of cracking, and it also gives it a more of a glossy finish. So I added a little bit of that, and then I thinned the rest out with water just to get to the consistency that I wanted. Now it's not super thin or thick. It just doesn't, you can tell that it just doesn't really leave a mound there. It just kind of mixes back in. I'm not sure how to describe that, but that's the thickness that I like. If you're doing a Dutch pour, you'd have to do it much thinner than that, but I don't really do many of them. And this is going to be all flip cups. Here, I'm back. I'm ready. I'm so excited to do this. I just gave this a quick coat of black paint to make sure the canvas doesn't show anywhere, and I'm going to give it a black base. So I really like doing a black base because I really like to incorporate black and white in all my paintings. I just find it gives it a lot more depth, and because like black is obviously the darkest color you can get, and the white is the lightest, so you're gonna get the most contrast ever with those two colors. But if you put them both in the same cup, it creates gray, and I don't want that with this. I mean, if that's the look that you want, then awesome, but I don't. And also, I find that if I put black in the cups, it kind of overtakes everything. It just makes a big black spot. And the only way I seem to be able to control it is to put the black on the bottom and then leave some negative space. So then you're going to get those spaces like more closer to the edges and stuff like that. You're going to get a little black left. And then you can put white in the cups and you're going to get more contrast that way. Plus the white makes your other colors pop more. So I'm going to be putting white in all my cups. And I changed my plan a little bit. I'm just going to put silver in the cups around the corners, the inner corners, I guess, between those. I'm going to use gold and then go back to silver for the center, just to help pull it together. And I'm going to put all different colors. Like every cup's going to be different because I want lots of contrast. I'm going to put a lot of my darker colors towards the outside, and then some lighter ones between them, and then darker towards the center again. That should give lots of variety, and then it'll pull together. I have also added 2 more colors. I decided to go against the one lavender I had there because I did a test run on it and it started to separate, and I just don't like that. I don't trust it. So I mixed up kind of my own version of it with Scarlet Red. I'll show you in a second. So I'll just show you a little about how I'm layering the cups, and then we'll speed the rest up. So for my 4 corners, I want higher contrast there. So I'm going to use white in all of those, and I've decided to use silver. And the rest is going to be different, but to make them kind of flow together, I'll be paying attention to my grayscale. So say if I use this dark purple in one, then I can use like a blue in the opposite one, and they're equal darkness, if that makes sense. So they're still gonna match. So my first corner, I'm gonna use all the blues and have the white and silver. And the white is gonna give it a lot of contrast against the black. I don't like to start with the white because then it ends up on top, and I find it just lightens the colors up too much. So I always like to start with the dark one. And I like to contrast them a bit too. And I also like to do 2 colors and then white. 2 colors and then white. And that way you end up with enough white that it doesn't look super dark. And that it seems to work for me, so that's what I stick with. I'm going to be filling my cups to like halfway full, and I'll be going by that measurement too. Probably more than enough. So for my next corner, I want all colors. So again, I'll start with my darkest one. So color, color, white. Okay, so I got rid of that lavender color, and this I made myself with violet, a little bit of scarlet red, and then white to make it a little bit lighter. And then the 2 colors I'm adding are rose gold. This is by Deco Art, actually. It's really pretty. And this is, I'm not sure who this is by, Color Shift. It says Color Shift. I'm not sure if that's I think that's the brand name. Anyway, it's a color shift blue, so it kind of changes from blue to green. I thought that's really cool. I'm just gonna put that one probably just towards the ones in the center, and that'll be. Actually, I might even use that in the center in place of the silver because it's pretty close to silver. All right, let's get started. Okay, I got my 4 corners. Okay, I think it's looking really good. Amazing contrast. The colors are super crisp. It flows, all flows together. The colors, the alternating colors are just, yeah, I love it. This waves. Oh my goodness, this is so nice. Look at that. These colors are so nice. All right, I'm gonna take these panels apart And then I'm gonna tip them slightly to let some run down over the side so that the inside edges look like the outside edges. There's a lot of paint in the middle, so it shouldn't be a problem. I made sure that the center didn't go too much over the edges to the cracks. It just goes right to the cracks, so it won't be too distorted. But I think this is gonna look amazing taken apart. As long as I don't drop anything or anything like that, we should be good. I'm gonna clear this table here and then I'll be back to take these apart. Okay, so because this is on a board like this, I don't want it to tip by taking weight off one side. I am going to jam a cup under the side there. I'm going to be safe so it doesn't roll. That way when I take the weight off this side, it doesn't just tip over. That would be, I think I would actually cry. Okay, that worked great. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Obviously when I take it apart, there's no paint in between. Right, so I'm just taking black with my hands and just laying it on there just right up to touch the paint that's running down. You can see, tilt the camera up a little bit. There we go. And then I just tilt it a little bit, see, until it starts to come over the edge. It'll kind of build up there, and that's enough, and that'll just run down. Now I just run my finger underneath just to get the drips off the bottom. Because you don't, they're going to dry into like bumps, like hardened drips. And then I always make sure the cups are on the frame, not the canvas, and slightly inside, so that allows the paint to run off the edge. Okay, here it is. So, I think it flows very nicely. Nice bright colors in the center to pull it together. That's shift blue, you can see that. And the silver looks really good. I love this blue section here. Ooh. And that one, I like all of it. I really, really like this one. Which is awesome because I was so excited to do it. These are my favorite colors. Is that copper? You see bits of gold throughout. Oh, this is so nice. I'm really happy with this.